sister of the main guy from Fast and the Furious, the pretty one, you know. The blonde kid was dating her and she died. Oh, Rosie Perez is much farther back. If I could keep her mouth shut, she's perfect.
I'm not familiar with her craziness. I just know she's hot.
No, I just said her mouth shut. You know. Oh,
anyway, do you think is there some you should get from a dude's body to then market to the female audience as well?
Well, before we get that far, Halle Berry. I mean, I think we.
Oh God. She's probably old enough to be my mom. But, girl,
she is. Oh my God, yeah, those nipples. Actually, you can do it. So you can culture it from a guy's beard yeast. A guy's beard, his hair. You can actually get yeast out of your skin. People are actually covered in bacteria and yeast without realizing it. There's beneficial stuff, and yeast aren't given the credit bacteria is. Yeast are everywhere. They just don't make people sick the same. And most bacteria actually don't make you sick. It's just a matter of, they're usually the ones that make you sick if you're going to get sick.
All right.
But you know what? I think I'm going to create a recipe for the next podcast. I'm going to put it out there. And I tell you what, if anybody's interested, I will take a couple of pictures. I'm going to find a girl, and I'm going to culture yeast from a pretty girl's pussy. And we're gonna have it available for you to buy, say, in 2 months.
That sounds reasonable.
Oh, let's do that. We'll say like $10 a culture, enough to make a full beer.
Okay, all right. And so, how would people use that then?
Well, basically, we'll culture it. We'll put it in a tube like you would at your home brew shop, and we'll ship it to you. The shipping will have to be extra, but for $10, you get a 5-gallon pitch worth of yeast, which means when you put this in there, it'll make 5 gallons, nothing extra needed. And how you'll use it is we'll put it in on some ice. We'll ship it to you. You'll pop it open. You'll pour it into your wine or your mead or your beer, and you'll let it ferment. And we'll give you the proper temperatures and everything else with the recipe, and voila.
And I'll tell you, this might go really well with a masterclass. Well, if you just want this to be your very first experience, which I don't know if this is what you want to be your very first experience, but for folks that do want to have a first experience doing some brewing and really want the help of a master brewer, we are going to start up a masterclass here in the near future.
What would be fun is you can follow along and do everything I do, and if you're uncomfortable with vagina yeast, I will put a group of different types of fruits or nature things where you can go collect the yeast, and then we'll follow along afterward with the lab steps of culturing your own yeast at home.
Boom! That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so we can make bread yeast. We can make all kinds of things. Like for instance, here's a fun one. If you like to bake bread or do stuff, go to the store and get yourself some cherries. Rinse them off. Don't wash them with soap. Just rinse them off. Put them in a mason jar and fill up just above where the cherries are with water. Okay, put your lid on and stick it in your cupboard. Let it sit there for a couple of days, like 3 days. And when you pull it out, if you turn the lid and it goes, tss, you have yeast in there, cherry yeast.
Okay.
And you can use that water as a liquid for your dough, and it's already primed with yeast.
Oh, really?
And when you make your bread, you know that nice baked cherry flavor you get from like certain things, like I guess black cherry ice cream?
Yeah.
That flavor will be in your bread.
Really? That's fucking cool.
It's delicious.
Wow, that's some neat shit.
Well, I got to tell you what, guys. I'm ready for another beer.
Absolutely. And it's probably about time to wrap up here anyway.
That sounds like a plan. Till next time.
If you got any questions, shoot us on over an email. If you want us to cover anything, BrosBeerMead@gmail.com. That's BrosBeerMead @gmail.com, or check us out at meadradio.com.
And these are your two bros, Brian
and Rocky,
getting ready to have some beer and mead.
Have a great day, folks.